Second time's the charm. Welcome to part 15. This is take 2. This is the cleanup part. Since we have the plasma beam, we're going to be getting everything we can in Phendrana Drifts, which is... I don't know why I said everything we can. We're getting everything in Phendrana Drifts now. Cleaning up the whole area. There's no scans, I believe, in this part, but there is lots of items. An energy tank, missiles, the whole wazoo. Though this would be also around the part where you'd probably be a good idea to clean up some of the Space Pirate labs if you didn't already. If you didn't like follow some of my sequence break strats to get some items early. Now would be a good time to get them. I don't know if anybody's like wants to follow this run for 100%. I really would advise against that, given how frequently I love to just show off and use sequence break tricks, or otherwise just speedrunning tricks. Also, this part's coming in a bit late because yesterday I just didn't feel like it. I've also run out of parts that are already pre-edited, so I have to do the editing now myself. And I'm lazy. And if I was a smart man, I would have already done all this during like Monday, sometime between Saturday and Tuesday. I would have just like edited all the parts so that I have raw parts all ready to go, ready to record audio for. But I'm not a smart man, clearly. Given that this part is coming in late, I'm going to try to make Friday's upload on time. Well, when I say on time, I'm going to try to make sure that Friday's upload actually happens. Yeah, the last week and this week has just not really been all that good for me in terms of consistency. I've also been playing a lot of Bloodborne, and it's kind of got me thinking about like how I'm kind of getting a little sick that a lot of Metroidvania games kind of sort of copy Dark Souls in a sense. And what I mean by that is like in world design, drip feeding you lore through item descriptions and whatnot, or just making it very vague on purpose. Let's see, what else? The difficulty, raising up the difficulty, because why not? It's just kind of the feeling that I have with Hollow Knight, where I was really looking forward to like this really good Metroidvania because I heard the good things about it. Then I saw it and the whole thing sort of just screamed Dark Souls. Yeah, there's not the stamina gameplay, but the way the world is designed, the difficulty of the level, and that it's kind of punishing, the type of boss fights there that feel like skill checks. Well, I guess that's what any boss fight is. I don't know, it just kind of like it kind of put me off from playing the game. Because I didn't really want to, I just played Dark Souls and I didn't really want to play like a sort of 2D-esque version of it. Not to say Hollow Knight is, it's not. I want to be clear on that. I'm not saying Hollow Knight is Dark Souls, and I'm not saying Hollow Knight is a 2D ripoff of Dark Souls. I'm not saying that. I'm not dumb. I'm just saying that it has enough in common to make me not really want to play it right away. That's basically what I'm saying. I've noticed that with a couple of Metroidvania games. Like Jedi Fallen Order as well. There's then Code Vein, which is Bandai Namco's Dark Souls, since they don't own FromSoft, I guess. It's just something I'm noticing. It just feels like it's kind of trendy to jump on the Dark Souls bandwagon. Is kind of what the feeling I get. And when you do that, I feel like you miss the point some of the time. That's what I'm worried is like one of the risks of doing this. Like you don't need to make your game feel like Dark Souls or have like this convoluted plot that doesn't make any fucking sense at all just because you want it to be like Dark Souls. You don't have to do that. Like you really don't. Again, I'm not speaking ill of Jedi Fallen Order or Hollow Knight. I think both are good games. I haven't played enough of Hollow Knight, but from what little I've played, I still say it's a good game. Just not quite what I was looking for. I kind of want more Metroidvania games in the vein of, I guess, Bloodstained and Castlevania and Metroid, honestly. I guess, in terms of like, I guess, challenge factor. I hope I'm making sense on that. And I think like having options for like making like filling your world up with lore, that's a good thing to have. It's a legitimately good thing. I'm just saying, don't try to lean too hard onto Dark Souls, I guess, is more what I'm saying. And not every Metroidvania has to be like Dark Souls. I don't want people to start thinking that. That you have to have a world design. That if you have a world design vaguely like Dark Souls, that everything else has to be like Dark Souls. No, it doesn't. You're free to do pretty much whatever you want in your game within reason. That's all. That's all I wanted to say. It's not really quite a rant, but it's also just something I noticed. Also, I've noticed when I use the power beam, or not the power beam, the plasma beam against the Space Rider troopers, I seem to be a little bit more likely to get power bomb drops. I don't really know like how the RNG drops are calculated, but I've noticed in Metroid games that sometimes there are ways that it feels like there are ways to manipulate the RNG. I can't 100% confirm it. It could all just be anecdotal and just like confirmation bias, but I swear there are certain instances where if you do certain things, you're more likely to get certain drops. I swear, like it's like I guess yeah, I don't really. I'll bring that up again probably in Super Metroid because there's one particular instance that I can think of off the top of my head. But I'll save it for Super Metroid if I even get to it at this point. Who knows? I could just drop the channel altogether by that point. Who knows, honestly. I mean, I went on hiatus for the channel for like a year, maybe 2, pretty much, before I returned back to regularly making content. And even then, it's just simple commentary over video footage. It's nothing fancy. Not that any of my stuff beforehand was fancy, but still. I ain't exactly breaking my back doing this sort of stuff. It's all pretty easy. I'm a pretty lazy individual, honestly. It's just sort of how I am. I prefer the short and efficient, easiest way to do things, and it doesn't always really mesh well with the things that I want to make. Two sides of myself, in a way. By the way, watch my Celeste live stream on Saturday, please. It's a good game, and you'll be seeing me trying to get 100% on it, which I've never done before. So yeah, this is gonna take a while, especially with my live streaming schedule of once a week. I would love to like live stream more than once a week, but I really can't justify it too much. I kind of like to play. There are times I like to record and I like to talk about games, especially with friends. But I also like to have alone time with the games, just to have, for the sake of having a playthrough for myself, One of the things of why I don't really try to particularly hard is because I kind of don't. A part of me would love for this to be my job, but also a part of me doesn't. Because I feel like it would sap away a lot of the fun of the game. Of playing games, like, after a while, if this became my job. I kind of like it because, in a sense, video games are my sort of escape from reality, as they are for a lot of people. But when you bring it into a job, you're putting it directly into your reality, like, you have to do this or you don't eat, sort of thing. Of course, I'm not really in that situation. I still live in my parents' home because I'm still trying to save money, even though I have a 9-to-5 job. But that's just... Don't really know why I'm blowing up those canisters. I don't really need any item. Also, you can tell I get more anxious about missing stuff by, well, doing what I'm doing right now. But also by how many enemies I kill. You can tell like how anxious or how nervous I'm getting about missing something off that. That's the thing I've noticed upon rewatching these videos, recordings of myself. It's rather interesting. You can learn quite a bit about yourself when you just shove yourself in front of a camera, or in this case, watch yourself play. Gives you a sort of fresh perspective. So the plasma beam completely incinerates the Sheegoth, by the way. That's kind of the reason why I'm killing this one, just to demonstrate that. Doesn't really matter if it can charge up some of your blast when it's still taking damage. And there's another one. Like, a lot of these items are hidden around corners, and one of the difficulties of Phendrana Drifts is that the music, there's occasionally parts of the song that sound almost exactly like the hum of an item being nearby, and it can drive you mad trying to get it. Because you don't know, is that just your mind screwing with you? Or is there actually an item right around the corner that I can't see or that I'm forgetting? It's rather maddening. But all the same, I managed to complete a 100% playthrough of this game. I got it all in recording. All that there's left to do is pretty much record commentary over it and upload it. And there we go, I have my proof and my redemption. Because I've always wanted to return back to this game since like my hyper mode playthrough went nowhere fast. I really want to get to like all the games that I started and just like eventually finish them. Probably restarting a playthrough, adding commentary and stuff so that there's something more to watch. Even if I'm just fumbling around the screen a bit. Commentary I find to be actually kind of important for the videos like these, because it's a way of like just getting inside the head of the person who played the game. Wondering why they did things the way they were, or just reacting to it. I've kind of reversed my mentalities on like video game footage over the past half decade. Originally, I really hated Let's Plays and commentaries, but then after I watched stuff people from like Brain Scratch Comms, SGB, let's see, who else? Even stuff like Matthew Matos's commentaries. Over the years, I've just really reversed my positions. I really think that it's significantly better to actually have commentary associated with like playthroughs of games, because otherwise it's just like, it's not really interesting and you might as well just play the game yourself. But for me as a kid, or I guess more as a teenager, and not really having disposable income in excess, really, I kind of was limited on what games I could play, what systems I could own, and if we didn't have enough money for a new system, well, that's kind of you're kind of shit out of luck. So I mostly stuck with Nintendo games, but there were games from Sony and even Microsoft games that weren't on any systems I owned, but I always wanted to play. And the unfortunate part about all of it is, even though I really wanted to play the games, and I have them now, pretty much almost all of them, in some form or fashion that I wanted to play as a kid and teenager, I find myself unable to for some reason. Like, I just get bored very quickly nowadays. I don't know if that's like just me being on the internet too much and just like kind of sucking away the fun. Like it sort of affects like when you take like a drug too many times and you eventually become numb to its effects, or drink too much alcohol too frequently. You just sort of become numb to its effects. Kind of like that with like entertainment too, I think, in a way. Not as bad, mind you, you're not going to die. But it can still, I feel like it saps away some of the enjoyments from things. That trying to disconnect yourself from the internet and stuff a little bit, not completely, a little bit, can actually do you wonders for your mental health and also like just general well-being and how much you enjoy certain things and activities. I know it's certainly helped for me, and I've kind of been going rambling on, blame the ADHD, I guess. But this part is almost over, so I guess I managed to fill in the time well enough. Hope I got down all my points. I can be very scatterbrained, especially at the end of the evening. But in any case, that is the end of part 15. Hope to see you in part 16. Bye.